Hello and welcome to Thursday's programme. I'm Kylie Pentelow.
And I'm John T. Messer. Coming up tonight between now and 6:30. Good evening. A day centre that has been caring for elderly people in Camborne for more than 4 decades has announced that it will close in the next 2 months because of financial difficulties.
The Donald Thomas Centre has been described as a lifeline for those who use it, with some revealing it's the only time they ever leave their homes. Well, in a moment we'll hear from the Mayor of Camborne about the decision, but first this report from Grace Pascoe. Well, let's join Grace there now. So, Grace, a difficult day for everyone associated with the centre. Now, they're described as the most majestic and intelligent mammals in our oceans, but dozens of dolphins are being washed up dead on beaches in Devon and Cornwall.
Campaigners are calling for action as it's thought the vast majority have been unintentionally trapped in the nets of large trawlers. More than 20 have been found scattered on our coastline in the past few months.
Well, in a moment we'll be speaking to the organisation which represents Southwest fishermen. But first, this report from Bob Cruz and a warning that you may find some of the pictures distressing.
Well, earlier I spoke to Jim Portis, who represents the fishing industry in Devon and Cornwall. He began by telling me that trawlers can injure dolphins.
Next tonight, the Defence Secretary hasn't ruled out axing 2 Plymouth-based ships and some Royal Marines roles. He was asked, and a final decision on the warships is expected later this year in mid-July.
Well, next on this evening's programme, a young woman from Plymouth has revealed how she became so depressed she considered suicide after her father was medically discharged from the Royal Navy.
Holly and Gary Hardwick are now backing a Help for Heroes campaign to encourage others to ask for help. It comes as new figures reveal almost a third of military veterans suffer with depression, which has a knock-on effect for their families. Jackie Bird reports.
A reminder that you are watching ITV News here in the West Country with Kylie and John T. Thanks for joining us on the programme this evening. Still plenty more to come before 6:30, including...
After us, the ITV News continues with the national and international stories at 6:30. Mary Nightingale has the details. But next tonight, a coroner has recorded the death of an Exeter student as a tragic accident after he fell 20 feet from a statue. 18-year-old
A former Royal Marine from Devon has postponed his attempt to break a world rowing record. Amputee Lee.
New data shows the NHS winter crisis in our region is slowly easing with a drop in cases of flu. Devon.
Now, it's a worryingly familiar sight on our roads, a driver using a mobile phone at the wheel, and a momentary lapse of concentration can cause death or serious injury.
Well, Dorset and Devon and Cornwall police forces are launching a new crackdown on offenders, warning them they face an on-the-spot fine of £200 and 6 points on their licence. Richard Slee has been out on patrol with the Dorset force. Right, let's move on to sport, because in just over 24 hours' time, Yeovil Town will kick off this weekend's FA Cup 5th round action, taking on Premier League giants Manchester United. That's right, the world-famous team last visited Hewish Park back in 2015, and as then, getting everything ready for the big night is a team effort. With final preparations underway, Carrie Davis took a look behind the scenes. We won't forget that time, 5 to 8 tomorrow night. We will be there live, of course, with all the build-up. It's going to be a fun match, isn't it? It'll be a really fun match. And I've seen on Twitter today that Man United have included Alexis Sanchez, their new signing, in the squad, so he could make an appearance as well. Even I know that he's a big name. Yeah, it's going to be a great match. And if you want to find out a bit more information about that match, then go to our website, Yeovil's Big. Now let's move on to the weather forecast. Kate has been out at Saltram House in Devon for us today. Kate, you've been on the hunt for signs of spring.
Yeah, you know what?
Thanks very much indeed. And just before we go, a quick reminder of the main headlines here in the West Country this evening. The Mayor of Camborne has defended the town's...
This evening's programme, so it's goodbye from the two of us. I'll be back with the late news, that's at 10:30.
But now I'll hand you to Mary Nightingale as the ITV News continues. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.